So I came across an interview with Phil Valentine where he was asked the question, what is his thoughts on cryptocurrencies like Bitcoin? And his response was that, in his opinion, he believes that Bitcoin is a scam and it's another version of centralized money that will be controlled by the Federal Reserve. And he's flat out incorrect and just doesn't know what the hell he's talking about. Now I'm about to play the clip for you so you can hear it for yourself. But before I get into the clip, this is exactly what I'm talking about when you constantly hear me talk about the pro-black, back to Africa, red, black, and green, Hotep, B1, who constantly wants to interject himself in conversations and they just don't know what they're talking about. And they spread this misinformation and disinformation where now you have over 40,000 people that have looked at this video. And because this guy is looked at in the community as some type of authority or master teacher, now you have people really running around saying that Bitcoin is a scam. Yet when you ask them important questions, technical questions like, what algorithms govern Bitcoin? Do you know about SHA-256? Do you know about consensus algorithms? Do you know about ECDSA, elliptical curve digital signature algorithms? They don't know nothing about this stuff. Phil Valentine has no background in mathematics, no background in computer science. He's simply telling you what he thinks. And rather than me start to critique it right now, let's just simply play the clip and then I'm going to break down to you why he just doesn't know what the hell he's talking about. So let's get into that clip.
We're always worried about money in this society. What do you think about cryptocurrency versus our current financial structure?
I think cryptocurrency is just another scam for me. I don't know. Why? Because what would that be? It could be a whole new system that the Federal Reserve and the boys who knew that they couldn't continue with the Federal Reserve system, they had to give you, they had to take what it is that was worth, your dollars which is supposedly of worth, to place it into what looks like a burgeoning system, which is, I guess, Bitcoin or whatever.
Yeah.
I'm not saying it doesn't work. What I'm saying is, are we going into another centralized form of money centralization with the cryptocurrency? Because they do not want you to have cash anymore. They want you to be online so they can control all of your transactions. So what better way through cryptocurrency? That's number one. Two, they got a computer now that has the ability to decode and break all forms of algorithmic codes for cryptocurrency. So if they have a computer in place that can break cryptocurrency codes that shift and change every 10 seconds, you got to know that they're ready to control your money and every transaction that you're dealing with. Now, Trump is now getting ready to destroy the Federal Reserve. Trump.
So as you can see, he clearly doesn't know what he's talking about. First, he starts off by saying, in his opinion, for him, it's a scam. Then he says, I don't know. Then he says it could be another centralized version of money controlled by the Federal Reserve. Let me explain to you exactly what Bitcoin is. Bitcoin is designed to be decentralized. There's nothing about Bitcoin that's designed to be centralized. I'm going to read the definition for you right now. Bitcoin is a cryptocurrency. It is a decentralized digital currency without a central bank or single administrator that can be sent from user to user on the peer-to-peer Bitcoin network without the need for intermediaries. See, in Bitcoin, in the community, we have a saying, I don't need to trust when I can verify. Don't trust me, Elijah. Don't trust Phil Valentine. You can go to the Bitcoin GitHub repository and actually pull up the code, and you can see how the code actually operates and works line by line. So see, I know there will never be more than 21 million Bitcoin. I know that Bitcoin is using the SHA-256 algorithm to hash. I know the private public key is generated through the elliptical curve digital signature algorithm. I know that we're dealing with a consensus algorithm network. I know these things for a fact. See, when you're dealing with computer science and mathematics, this is not guessing. See, people like Phil Valentine, they like to guess. I don't guess. He's saying it may be. No, it can't be. Because the whole purpose of Bitcoin is to be pseudonymous. You don't know who's behind the transactions and behind these public addresses. See, in a centralized system like today's banking, if I wanted to send $5,000 to Bob at 2 o'clock in the morning and he's all the way in Australia, guess what? I couldn't do it. Why? Because my bank is closed. And then I would have to go down to that bank with my ID And I would have to explain to them, why am I sending money to a Bob in another country? And I would have to fill out a form to send someone my own money. In a decentralized peer-to-peer network, it's peer-to-peer because I can send money to Bob without a third party looking over that transaction. And I don't even need to know who Bob is and what Bob looks like. All I need is Bob's public address, which is similar to an email address. And then they would broadcast that transaction to the network. The miners would then validate that that transaction. And after 22 confirmations, guess what? That money would be sitting in Bob's wallet. That simple. Now, is Bitcoin for everyone? Absolutely not. But you can clearly tell from his response, he can't articulate to you exactly what about Bitcoin is a scam. And see, this is what's problematic for Black society, because a lot of these people, they have a large following, and they have people following them who just don't know what they're talking about. Go into detail. Why do you believe that Bitcoin is a scam? What about it is a scam? No one controls it. No one can break it. No, there's not 12 Federal Reserve heads of a bank sitting down and centrally planning what interest rates are going to be or how much money is in circulation. And you can't control it, because how can you control what people are spending when you don't even know who's spending it? You don't know who's behind the public address. That's why it's called pseudonymous. It's anonymous. I don't know the person behind that public address. I just know that that public address exists. Someone controls it, but who controls it? That's the power in Bitcoin. It gives you privacy to transact on the internet and not have to reveal your identity. In the traditional banking system, everything that you do is tracked on your debit card. Every dollar you spend is tracked. Now, let's get to the computer that he's talking about. What he's talking about is quantum computers. And he's talking about quantum supremacy. And see, this is the problem with the pro-Black, back to Africa, red, black, and green, B1 pro-Black simp, is that they just simply look for headlines and then say, see, look, this is what's happening. They haven't even fully developed the technology right now. And I'm going to read the article for you and explain and break this down to you why, again, he doesn't know what he's talking about. So follow me. Let's get into that article. As you can see right here, the article starts off, Google may have just ushered in an era of quantum supremacy. When you read the first paragraph, it starts off, Google says that it has achieved quantum supremacy, a major milestone towards the development of quantum computers. Keyword, towards the development of quantum computers. Not saying they developed it, but towards the development. At least it seems to have. The announcement came in a paper that was reportedly published on the NASA website before being pulled, according to the Financial Times, which retrieved a copy before it disappeared. Why did they pull it down? Because the community started exposing that they really did not achieve quantum supremacy. Now let's get right down here to this third paragraph. It says, despite hitting the milestone, it's likely that quantum computers capable of tackling practical tasks are still years away. However, once developed, the computers are expected to have huge implications for areas as diverse as cryptography, chemistry, artificial intelligence, and machine learning. So as you can clearly see, based upon what they're saying, it's likely that quantum computers, capable of tackling practical tasks, are still years away. Now, let's get down here to the fourth paragraph. And don't worry, a link to this article will be in the description below. It says, however, the significance of Google's announcement was disputed by at least one competitor. Speaking to the FT, the Financial Times, IBM's head of research, Dario Gil, said that Google's claim to have achieved quantum supremacy is just plain wrong. Gil said that Google's system is a specialized piece of hardware designed to solve a single problem and falls short of being a general purpose computer, unlike IBM's own work. So this is why it's important to research and read and know what the hell you're talking about and not just get out here and just speak about things. Now let's play devil's advocate. Let's say that a computer like that exists today or may exist in the future. You really think that Google is going to spend billions of dollars, and rather than trying to destabilize a country, rather than trying to infiltrate a government like China or Iran or take apart Russia. They're going to waste their time on a $150 billion cryptocurrency trying to roll back Bitcoin's chain and do a 51% attack. Does that make any logical sense? No. Now, let's play devil's advocate even more. Let's say that they can roll back Bitcoin chain, right? Because that's the whole purpose of attacking a blockchain, is doing a 51% attack. Well, if Bitcoin could be hacked or the chain could be rolled back, then that means no financial institution is safe. JP Morgan isn't safe. No government is safe if a computer is that powerful, because as of today, Bitcoin is the most secure network there is. In 10 years, the chain has not been 51% attacked successfully yet. So logically, what he's saying, it doesn't make any sense. See, there are over 2,000 different cryptocurrencies as of today. I don't know which one is going to be successful in the future. It could be Bitcoin. It could be Ethereum, right? Ethereum trying to be the world computer. You have cryptocurrencies like Ripple who are trying to make payments faster. There's over 2,000 different ones. Pick one that you want. But see, whether Bitcoin is successful or fails, blockchain technology is here to stay. This is one of the most innovative pieces of technology of the 21st century. This is the Internet 2.0. And what Phil Valentine should be trying to do is encourage you to learn how to develop apps on a blockchain like Ethereum, telling you, go and learn how to code. Go learn about computer languages like Python, C, C++, Java, because these jobs that don't even exist as of today, but will exist, they need people with programming skills. And people that look like you and me, we don't really have the STEM skills to really go out here and compete for these jobs. These jobs are paying, the little bit of jobs that exist right now in the blockchain industry are paying 6 figures, 7 figures, or better yet, go learn how to build your own blockchain and solve some of these problems. See, if he really knew about the technology, he would be talking about some of the real issues that Bitcoin have, like the scaling problem. You know, Bitcoin cannot process a lot of transactions like, let's say, a PayPal or a MasterCard could. Or talking about how all of the mining hash power is centralized in a place like China. But again, you're dealing with a person that hasn't taken the time to educate themselves. See, I can speak clearly about this technology. You know why? Because I'm heavily invested in it. And I have people that will pay me $2,000 to $3,000 to $4,000 to come and speak about this type of technology. And this is the type of potential that's out here for you if you take the next 6 months to a year to learn. Am I saying Bitcoin is the end all be all? No. I just told you there's over 2,000. Pick one that you want, but study the technology. Know what you're talking about. See, when you understand computer science, when you have a STEM background, you can clearly listen to what he's talking about and know he just doesn't know what he's talking about. There's no way that you can usher in, a new form of centralized money when it's already decentralized. You don't even know who owns a majority of the Bitcoin that's in circulation. So how could you usher in some type of new financial system? Bitcoin is sovereignty, and it's designed to be slow and clunky. As of today, it's designed to be a store of value. Now, for some people, it's an exchange of value. It all depends on where you are in the world. If you're in Venezuela, and you're experiencing inflation, or you're in a place like Zimbabwe and you're experiencing hyperinflation, Bitcoin is a way for you to transact and store some wealth. If you're in a place like China that has capital controls and capital restrictions, Bitcoin is a way for you to get your money out the country. If you're in a place like America, Bitcoin's meant to speculate, because Bitcoin, based upon mathematics, it's going to at least hit $100,000 a coin. And then now you got to think about the fact that a third of all Bitcoin that are in existence, that's currently in existence, have been lost. What does that mean? Well, if you lose your private keys, if you lose your Bitcoin, it's gone forever. Well, that creates an artificial flaw. So Bitcoin technically can't go to zero. Why? Because that third of Bitcoin that's gone can't be sold. You can't sell something that you don't have access to. So again, I'm not here to attack Phil and bash Phil. He just needs to stick to speaking about chakras and pineal glands and conspiracy theories. But Bitcoin isn't governed by white supremacy or racism. It's governed by math. It's governed by computer science. And you need to be educating yourself on this type of stuff, because guess what? Wealth is transferring hands right now. You're living in history. You're witnessing history. Why not be a part of it? Don't let some quack on the internet that's trying to scare you and sell lectures and DVDs keep you away from this, because I told you before, the same thing happened to me when I was in my early 20s with Alex Jones. And many of these pro-black, back to Africa, red, black, and green simps realized this man made millions of dollars peddling conspiracies to poor white folks. And they're doing the same thing with white supremacy. Go out here and educate yourself about this technology. There's a whole new industry about to open up and start. There are a ton of job opportunities that exist today and are going to exist in the near future. And you need to learn how to code, how to program, and learn about computer science. The blockchain is here to stay.